let's go back a few years to I'm mucking around on my SoundCloud page and I notice a message come in from a nice young lady who says, "Thanks so much for adding me to your SoundCloud playlist." And I thought, this young lady's going to go far. Not only does she have awesome songs, but she has very good manners. That was 2017. I'm talking to Merpire, and very pleased to have a little bit of time with her, talking mainly about Simulation Ride, the new album. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I do remember that actually. I remember Slice Radio all those years ago. I mean, I think I still have the same appreciation of people listening. It's amazing that I get to make music and people get to listen. And I guess it's the same for this album. I've spent a few years on it. Obviously, it got pushed back a little bit with the first lockdown last year. And I guess it's just, it's a celebration to make an album at all. There's a lot of luck that goes into it, as well as hard work, I think. And I guess it's a good reminder that this is one thing I'm in control of.
Absolutely. Just wanted to chat a little bit about songwriting. Did you write the songs acoustically, or did you write them with the band?
I wrote most of them, I think actually all of them, on guitar, either my acoustic guitar or electric guitar, except for the interlude. Actually, there's an interlude in the middle of the album, which I wrote on James, who's my producer, on his Juno keyboard while he was busy mixing the song Sink In. That's almost always also on the album. And I was just playing this piano line, thinking of something else, but that was playing in the background. And I was like, actually, this goes actually really nicely with Sink In. So then James and I built this, eerie, watery interlude around that piano line. But everything else on acoustic guitar, and then brought the songs to James to produce with me, which was good because I have trouble sometimes, when I'm playing the songs with the band, I'm focusing so hard on what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about building the songs with other instruments. So, I like to produce them first and then take them to the band.
Yeah, people love references. So sounds a bit like this or like this. So I'll throw some names at you and see if I can offend you. I hear Amy Mann.
Okay.
I hear Slater Kinney, more recent stuff maybe. I hear some 90s influences. Little Birdie came to mind.
Cool.
And, that's the sort of stuff. I don't think it sounds 90s. What I think it sounds like is like good, honest rock and roll. That's what I think. Do you think that?
Amazing. I hope so. I like those comparisons. Actually, I haven't got any of them before, so that's cool.
Yeah, well, maybe people aren't as smart as me. And in the studio, I think it's really clean and really well crafted. And you didn't. Was there ever a inclination to go for a bit of electro pop here or something like that? Because that's very much 99% of people, and I'm not joking, are doing that at the moment. But you went differently.
Yeah, for sure. There is a lot of that around, which is great for them if it makes them happy. I think, as you were saying just before, the bit of a 90s vibe, I think I couldn't help but gravitate towards what I like to listen to. And, when it came to building production ideas like guitar sounds, or different pedals or even vocal sounds and drum sounds, James and I did reference the songs that we were listening to. So we just built like a Spotify playlist of what we like in each song and why we chose it, which is a real indulgence, actually, to work with a producer that is willing to work like that, through trial and error of how maybe from song to song certain sounds wouldn't work and then they would work in other songs. So it's cool when it can come across.
Where was the most of the songs recorded?
Actually, we recorded in 3 different locations. We had the luxury of recording without knowing that it was going to be an album. So I wrote most of the songs and then recorded them before we decided it was going to be an album. And so that meant we had all this time and space to allow for different environments or different moods that we were in to affect the recording as a whole, song to song. Some of it was recorded in James's parents' house in his mum's sewing room, which meant, we got ham and cheese sandwiches for lunch from her when she came up the stairs. And then some of it was recorded in Anglesey in the family friend's beach house. And then at our house as well in lockdown, we finished the final mixes, I think, in the first lockdown in this room. So,
amazing. that very room.
Yeah.
Did you take the songs in fairly fully formed? Like, did you have the middle eights and the bridges and stuff?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Pretty much it's all written, except for Dinosaur and Easy. Dinosaur is the oldest song, funnily enough, on the record. It's probably 5 years old. And I didn't really think much of it until James redug it up out of my GarageBand library and was like, I think we should work on this. And he actually wrote the outro, including the lyrics and melody, and all the guitar lines. And with the song Easy, which is the acoustic song on the album, that was ironically the most difficult song for us to record because I think it's hard. Yeah, well, it actually started out as a band song, but it just wasn't hitting. It was quite upbeat. And so we stripped it right back, changed the key and slowed it down heaps. And James wrote, more obscure chords in place of the bar chords that I had. And so it made it now that's on the recording sound quite vulnerable and intimate, which is how it should be. Yeah.
Now, is anyone saying Habits a fantastic single? I think Habits.
Yeah.
A great one.
Yeah, thank you. That's a fun one.
Yeah, it is fun. And it's not complicated. It's got a really easy feel. And then some of the chord changes, like you mentioned, that you and James were playing around with, it takes a bit of a turn and just surprises you and just draws you in a little bit further.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that comes.
And lots of great guitar sounds, lots of great bass sounds. So I think you really thought about what you were going to put in there and what you were going to leave out, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Habit, especially the energy of it and the rhythm was inspired by a song by Unknown Model Orchestra. So when I played the song on electric guitar to James, I kind of just like hummed a bit of a bass line along with it to be like, I feel like this is what I want the rhythm to be. And thankfully he got it straight away. So it's good.
There's a great tradition of humming in the studio.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it goes back as long as we've had studios.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's a great album, Simulation Ride, worth every cent. Look, do buy it. You could stream it, but why not just buy it? You're going to like it. You're
going to
like every song.
Finally, yes.
Oh, it's on vinyl too.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Where's the best place to pick it up from vinylly?
Ooh, I mean, if it's not at a live show, because we don't know when they will be, I would head to Bandcamp, my Bandcamp. Yeah, and vinyl's up there.
Fantastic. Can't get in any easier than going to Bandcamp. Talking about live shows, I don't think it must be very complicated to reproduce your recorded sound live. Or is it?
Well, it depends on the song. I think, as I said, having the luxury of James, who's my producer, also being in the band, he can take what we've recorded and work out what we can do live with the band. So I've got a 5-piece band of 4 women and one male James, and they're all absolutely incredible. I feel very lucky to play with them. We do have an album launch booked for September 3rd at Howler in Melbourne. I'm crossing all my extremities that we get to to do it because it's going to be pretty special. I've got some cool set design things happening and some habit dances. So
Oh,
we'll see.
great.
Yeah.
You know, I play in bands. Like I'm old now, so and I've always had a dream of like having a dance troupe because I'm sort of just boring and sing and play. Having like dancers out the front, and then I could watch the dances, everyone else could watch the dances, and it'd be a great time. But gets expensive.
Totally.
But
Exactly.
for a rock star like you, it's a whole different. It's
Or
a
just
whole.
having friends that just want to be on stage, which is what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Maybe I don't have enough friends. So talking about shows, I mean, is there any talk of getting added to any festival lineups? They should.
Yeah, I've got one for New Year's on the Hill at New Year's Eve, obviously.
That's far
Um,
enough away that we will knock this
yeah,
bug out for six.
I hope so.
I hope
I hope
so
so.
too. I really, really hope so. Well, look, I haven't got too many more questions. I think we've covered this really, really well. The album Simulation Ride, Merpire is the band. James sounds like I need to have a chat to him and really get in depth about studio stuff. Like, which knob did you twiddle for this? Because he sounds like
Yeah.
is he interesting or is he like a boring producer type?
No, he's super interesting. And there's some really interesting stuff that happened. Like I think one of my favorite things in Village, which is the last single I released, and it's the
Yeah.
opener of the album. You might be able to hear at the front of the song, you can hear the chorus really muffled in the background, almost like
Yeah.
it's coming through a shitty radio channel. And there's a sample of a button press as well. And the muffled chorus you can hear was actually an accidental recording when we were recording one of the electric guitars. And the mic actually picked up the feedback of the guitar listening to the playback of the song to like play along with the song playing
Yeah,
through.
sure.
Yeah. So it was only when we turned up the amp like really loud to get this full guitar sound. You could hear the chorus in the background. We're like, what's that? And so then we did it again and put more intentionally and put the mic actually on the body of the guitar to pick it up more clearly, and we left it in there. So that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
fact.
Village is so catchy. I mean, it was an earworm
Excellent.
for ages, and it still comes back sometimes when I'm at day job. I'll be doing something, and I'll be like, really? I thought Merpire,
Damn you,
Merpire. No,
well
not at
done.
all. That's exactly what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Them to be catchy. Well, thanks so much, Merpire. I'm going to let you get on with your day stroke evening, and it's been a pleasure to chat with you and a pleasure to enjoy Simulation Ride. Thanks very
Thanks,
much.
man. Thank
Not
you.
a
I really
problem.
appreciate it. Thanks for getting in touch.
Not a worry.